Well, I ghosted you guys again. After the big lead up to the race, I didn't post anything. Um, I'm sorry about that. Life kind of got a little busy, and then I don't know. I got in a weird running funk. It's something that I really didn't ever expect would happen to me because I'm so internally self motivated, and I've never, like, since I seriously started running, have never taken a break from running. But I kind of just lost my will to run. And I think it might have just been because, like, Boston was such a big goal that when I completed the goal, I was a little lost. And I just really did not expect that. So I was not prepared for, like, how to handle that. So I apologize again for ghosting you. Quick recap on the race. I wasn't sure what the weather was going to be like. It ended up being pretty good. It was like high 50s to 60 and kind of rainy. It was more humid than I would have liked, but it was cloudy and it was not hot. So I feel like I don't have any reason to complain about my Boston weather. And so I will not do that. It was overall fine. It was kind of interesting trying to figure out the logistics of rain at all of the travel and everything, but overall, weather was good. No complaints there. Happy with my shoes, happy with my kit. Probably walked a little bit too much before the race, but it was okay. I was happy. Um, I think I decided the morning of the race in the back of my mind that I probably wasn't going to race it because so much of what I had heard from people was just like, enjoy the race, be present, have fun, yada yada yada. It's not something I'm good at, but it's something that I felt like I should make an effort to do. I shouldn't be all like, oh, I'm too good to be able to soak in and enjoy the experience. Like when I got to the expo, I felt like I didn't want to go find my name on the wall or do any of the stereotypical Boston Expo things. And then we were kind of about to leave, and I got choked up because I'm like, wait a minute, no, that's not why I'm here. I'm not here to be too cool for school. I'm here to enjoy running the Boston Marathon, which is something I've worked towards for years. So then we went back and I did all the stuff, and I ended up being happy that I did it. I found the girl who I ran Houston with, my qualifying Houston with. We ran the back half of the race together, and I actually saw her name on the wall of names before I even saw mine. And like that was a cool little experience that I wouldn't have had if I kept trying to be too cool for school. So I'm glad I went back and did that. And I think because of the choice that I made there, I went ahead and kind of knew that I wasn't going to race Boston. Fitness wise, I'm sure I was fit, but I just didn't feel poppy, didn't feel fresh. The whole training cycle. And I'll get into this in a minute, but even since then, I haven't felt fit in a really long time. And the last thing I wanted to do was push myself, fall behind in the race, and then be mad for 10 or 15 miles because I didn't hit the goal time I had. So by the time the race started, a mile in, I just kind of said to myself out loud, listen, I'm gonna have fun today. And that's what I'm gonna put all of my effort into, is just having fun. And I did that. I had a blast. I high-fived people at Wellesley and at BC, and I had so much fun not being pressured to race. I'm so glad I did it. I finished, I think, in a 3:37, close to, I think Cleveland Circle is where I found the people we were staying with, and I was able to tell them, like, hey, let my husband know I'm fine, because I think I thought my family was probably worried that I was going to be mad or upset because I wasn't running as fast as like my qualifying time or something like that. So, but I honestly, once I made that decision, I made my mind up to stay positive about everything, and it made such a huge difference in the suffering, because the suffering is going to happen. It's a marathon, but being in a bad mood about it is optional. I know that's kind of kitschy and like, duh, but at the same time, that's not how I operate normally. And so reminding myself of those things helped me stay positive and help me stay engaged with the race and the spectators and all of that, so that I could truly soak in the whole experience. I'm so glad I prepared as much as I did to know kind of what the course was going to be like, and Dan, the person who was hosting us, drove us from the hills, like the start of the hills, through basically to, the end of the race the night before, and I'm glad he did that, and I'm very thankful he did that, because knowing what I was up against made it so much easier to deal with it. And especially knowing that like Heartbreak has that false finish before you go up a little bit further, that's one of those things where I was like, as I was running, I'm like, I'm so glad I knew this, because if I didn't, I just would have been grumpy about it. So overall, no matter how painful it was, it's a marathon, of course it's painful, but I enjoyed it. I am happy that I was able to enjoy it. I want to go back. I want to truly do battle with the Boston course, but this was not that time, and I'm glad I made the choice I did. Overall, I did not go out fast. Like, I went out mid-8s probably, and I didn't feel like that was particularly fast, and my quads were still just shot by the end of the downhills. Like, even if I had wanted to race it, there was no way I was going to be able to. So pretty early on, I was able to make peace with my choice, because, there was no other choice at that point. It was a tough course, and I will definitely change my training going, if I make it to another Boston. I'm gonna have to I focused so much on uphills, but did not focus enough on the downhill running. And I feel like everyone kind of makes that mistake the first time, and yet, no matter how many people tell you, you just have to experience it once before you realize what you've got to do to prepare well. I definitely learned a lesson there, and I'm glad I did it. But yeah, so then afterwards, it just got really hot in Dallas really fast, and I'm recovering from the marathon, and it's hot, and I still can't really like run as much as my other friends who didn't do Boston are doing, so I kind of like got out of sync with my running group. And then it was hot, and I really, for the first time in a long time, I don't have a big goal. Like, obviously I want a PR and stuff, but like, I don't have a goal to work towards, because I'm really, truly, honest to God, not interested in running a marathon for another year, at least. I don't want to do it. That was the most mentally draining training cycle I have ever gone through, and I don't want to do that again. I don't have a big goal. I don't have fitness that I need to build to over a year or two. So I just kind of didn't run a whole lot in June, I think. Maybe July. One of those 2 months, I just didn't run a lot, and I made the choice to like be okay with that, because everybody goes through on periods and off periods, and I'm telling y'all, it's been so hot here. I am sitting in my backyard filming at the moment, and I have like full tree canopy. You can see that there's a lot of trees in this area. I'm still sweating. It's 5 o'clock in the afternoon. I cannot express how difficult this summer has been for running. The highs are getting so high that even at 9 o'clock at night, it's still 100 degrees or warmer. And your overnight lows are 80 to 85 degrees. And it's just draining, especially if you don't have a goal, to try to force yourself out of bed to go run in the morning. And I just kind of lost the spark. I lost the love, and instead of trying to force it, which I've done in the past, I just accepted it and kind of let it go. And I'm sure I took a hit to fitness because it was probably about a month of really inconsistent running. So I probably could have done better there, but I'm okay with not having done better because this has been an exceptionally bad summer. And I'm doing what I can. And I know that when fall comes, I'll be faster and I'll have a little bit more motivation because it'll be nicer to be outside. But I'm not sure when that's going to be yet because it's the middle of August and the forecast still is not great. So I've gotten my groove back in August. I hit 3 40+ mile weeks in a row. This is kind of a down week this week, and then I'll ramp back up. But my next real race is the DRC half in early November. Between now and November, so it's the 17th of August right now, I plan on probably hitting up a 5K whenever we dip under the 80s. We had a couple of mornings under 80 degrees and I did not do it, and I probably should have, but it was just so nice out and I didn't want to waste a morning at 70 degrees by sweating. I know that doesn't make a lot of sense, but that's how I felt, and so I didn't do a workout that morning to try to get a kind of a fitness test. But as soon as the weather breaks and we do get consistently under 70, I'll hop in a 5K just to find out where I'm at fitness-wise. My runs have all been kind of right around 9-minute miles for the easy runs, and I've done a handful of workouts this summer, but I think leg speed is probably lacking a little bit, and really I just need to know where I'm at fitness-wise. So as soon as I get a chance, hopefully in early September, I can go ahead and get kind of a fitness check, figure out where I am, extend the long runs out some, and add in a little bit more in terms of workouts. So until I can do the fitness check, I don't have a goal for the half. So it's early first Sunday of November is when it always is. I've been signed up for months. I'm also signed up for the Dallas half in December. I'm okay with not having a ton of goals right now. I obviously always want to be getting faster, but I just want to make sure that I'm doing it in a way that's mentally sustainable, if that makes sense. I'm not putting a ton of pressure on myself after the mental kind of stress of the Boston cycle. For now, that's where I'm at. That's what happened at Boston. Again, I'm sorry for ghosting you. And I'm not going to promise I'm not going to do it again, but I will try to be better about not doing it again. So, I've got a couple of video ideas coming up. I have a quick conspiracy theory about Saucony, and I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens from here. But I just wanted to check in and just do a follow-up. It's been nagging at me, and yeah, I hope everybody else's running is going okay. All right, see ya. Thanks.